What's going on, guys? Sean from Hammerhead. We're just doing a little impromptu live. Gordy came over to visit me here, so we decided we're going to jump on here and talk about a few things we've been discussing today. And basically, this applies to Nova Scotia, but in turn to the rest of the country. We're basically just going to discuss what we got planned for an event for this Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m. at Friendship Park in Halifax. We're going to have a few speakers there. We're going to just give a little talk on common law and some other things that are on our mind, and maybe get some traction and get some ways forward to help get us out of this mess that we're in. Especially bad in these eastern provinces because so many people seem to be asleep. And of course, being on this stream, we have to be careful what we talk about because of the way it is here. But we can walk around the topic in a way that doesn't get us shadow banned, hopefully. In any case, I'll let Gordy talk a little bit, and then I'll have a little brief summary about what I want to say there.
Yeah, so hey guys, anyway, as you know, we're always rattling our minds and trying to come up with ideas or whatever, and so the big thing that always comes up is lack of support. We got, some people contact us on the last video, get some support there, and we're still trying to touch base, and this is across Canada, so we're trying to touch base with all these people. Same thing, not really talking too much about plans till we get them all ironed out so we can put them in action, and then we'll let everybody know what that is. But anyway, recently all kinds of stuff going on in Nova Scotia. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar, but and this is no personal attack. My personal opinion, Sean, I guess as well, we wasted 2 years with no action. So the so-called freedom groups or community or members or leaders or whatever they want to call themselves in Nova Scotia really haven't done a whole lot that actually stopped anything from taking place. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're about, trying to take action. So but the arrest happened this weekend. Last weekend, Morgan gets arrested. Jeremy gets arrested this week. All this stuff's going on, and I guess somehow there's some sort of leaders or people looked at them as leaders, some people in the freedom community or whatever. So they had an event scheduled, worldwide freedom rally for Sunday at Peace and Friendship Park. And I guess given everything that's going on, they decided to cancel that event. So it just dawned on me that, who are these people that cancel a freedom event, right? We're
going to step up.
So we decided, I talked to Crow, see what he thought, because both of us are in this together. We're going to take over that event Sunday at least. We're not going to let it be canceled, and we're just going to have one there and replace that one. And the idea being is we're moving towards action. So people can come out. You can do whatever you want. You can, I don't care. It doesn't matter. But the whole premise is we're taking the whole direction of the freedom community in this province towards action. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. That's our goal. That's our mandate. That's what we're trying to work towards. That's what we're working at. You know what I mean? This isn't about just doing these. The reason we do this and you don't see much else from us outside of serving the paperwork is because there's nobody else with us. And, we both work full time. It's hard to actually go out in the daytime and get anything else accomplished. I'm working on that. Maybe I'll have to quit my job or stop working for a few weeks or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, that's the idea. So the event was canceled. This is the first release. We talked to a few people that we know, and we're going to make sure that the event continues on. So Sunday in Halifax, at Peace and Friendship Park. Share this around, please. Make sure you share this video so everybody out there gets it, because we want to make sure it can be as big as it possibly can be. And I know it's short notice. Might not be the smoothest run thing because I'm not a rally building guy. He's not a rally builder. But this is a chance to try to take it into the direction that we believe it needs to go. Common law, action.
I'll be giving a speech on common law there.
Right. Those are our natural laws. So we'll speak on action, and I'll talk about, some of the things that I know about that's going on and what we're trying to build towards. We're also trying to work with the indigenous community. And that happened in Manitoba with Sipico and them, and I'm connected with them. So I'll try to touch base with them and see where they stand and what's going on in their world right now. But anyway, we just want to move towards action. That's what we're trying to accomplish. No more just shooting. Shit's getting bad. Digital ID's coming. You know what I mean? They're already talking about friggin' quantum financial system just in the city. Somebody's in the city asking their bank. And yeah, they're not even surprised.
This week, the British pound is no more. The Bank of England collapsed.
Yeah, everything's crashed.
That's a precursor of the whole system that they got on the wings, ready to supersede it.
Yeah, so everything that we've been talking about that's coming this fall, and everybody wanted to do nothing all summer but rally and barbecue and hang out. I don't care, man. I'm not attacking you personally. You do whatever you feel you got to do for yourself. That's fine. But the point is, there was no friggin' action taken at all to stop anything. And these criminals still roll around, enjoying their vacation, pushing this bullshit, doing all this. We know what's coming down. So hopefully we can start laying the groundwork right now, because when shit gets really bad, maybe then the people will be ready to, and they'll know where to turn. This is what we're going to do. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Shit, you know? And the rally at Peace and Friendship Park, that's fine. But him and I even talked about this a long time ago. When people are calling these, they were calling these, still calling them protests, but they aren't protests anymore, because the only place they're going is where the police allow them to be. So we're going there. They canceled the event. That's fine. I'm not calling and seeing if it's okay we come there. He's not calling to see if it's okay. We're just going. I don't care if they like it that we're there or not. It doesn't matter to me. We're going. That's our right to be there. We're going to go, and we're going to do this stuff, and we're going to start pushing the envelope, and they're going to have to deal with it. At some point, they're going to have to wake up and make their own decisions with their soul, where they're going to be on the right side of this. And that's why the documentation, all this stuff ties in. I'll talk about all that kind of stuff down there. Hopefully we can bring in some other speakers. Talking to a funeral director. I don't know. It's kind of short notice for him. Hopefully he can go. We'll see what happens. And like I said, this is just flying by the seat of our pants. An opportunity presents itself, so we're going to take advantage of it.
And you wouldn't believe what that funeral director said. I can't actually tell you guys here online, and he doesn't want his name mentioned, and we wouldn't do that to him anyway. But what he said was basically horrific stuff, man. Like, just unbelievable. Like, you wouldn't believe it.
The simple thing I can say about what he said, without stepping on his toes, until him and I get to talk a little bit, because we connected almost a month ago, but we never really got a chance to connect. Anyway, he said people know what is going on with the deaths.
Right.
That's it. They know, but they're too afraid to say anything about it.
Yeah. So there you go, guys.
No more conspiracies, right?
No, it's not a conspiracy. That is a word that was made up by the CIA back in the 60s to discredit anyone that talked against JFK and the assassination attempts. Well, it wasn't an attempt. It was an assassination. But in any case, yeah, that's just a word that people go to when they don't have anything really intelligent to say about anything, in my opinion. But we're not saying we got all the answers. All we're saying is we're going to create an action group, and the whole focus of it is going to be on unity, getting people to come together for action and to move gradually towards action.
Yeah.
Okay. The plans are great. Speaking engagements are great. Rallies are good, but we had those already. The last 2 years, that's all it's been, is those. We need a plan moving forward. We need people that are going to join together with us, and they're going to work gradually towards that plan. And that's what we're trying to do. And we're not saying it's going to be super successful right away. And like I said to Gordy here, I sincerely believe that people are too comfortable still, and that they're not desperate enough. And there hasn't been enough food shortages yet, or any of that. So I think once the desperation sets in, we'd already like to have something set up where people can come and join together, rally together to help to make a difference, to really do something to change what's going on. And our own focus in Nova Scotia is the hurricane. I understand that there's a lot of people still don't have power and whatnot. That is important. There was a lot of damage during that. We're not underwriting that or undermining that in any way, shape, or form. But the only thing our premier wants to talk about is telecommunications and telecommunication problems, and that these cell phone companies and everything should step up their game. And yeah, that's probably important, but there's more important things, guys, like losing your country completely to foreign entities that have infiltrated their way into the system and into the government at the highest levels. That might be pretty important, I would think, right?
Yeah, there's lots happening. So when you talk about the hurricane, or Fiona, whatever you want to call it, tropical storm. So I heard that from supposedly a good source, and I trust a lady that told me, and her source is supposed to be solid. The U.S. military offered assistance with all the devastation that took place with Fiona, and Trudeau shut that down. So I don't have confirmation on that, but I am not surprised that that would happen. And then what did he do? He came down to Nova Scotia and got some photo ops, but he just got some photo ops with a bunch of the immigrants that were all happy to see him because they brought him in here. This isn't an attack on immigrants or immigration in proper ways. This is just the reality of what's going on, the mass immigration that's not proper. So anyway, that's what he did. He didn't do anything. I know there's some people from the valley that are in Newfoundland, helping out over there with the destruction that's gone on. Some of them people were in Ottawa, one of the truckers. Anyway, so everybody's doing whatever, right? The only issue with the rallies and all the stuff that's been going on that I have is nothing has led to actual action, and everything that they wanted to do, they've continued to do. And we haven't stopped anything. We haven't made any kind of a barrier.
There's been treason committed.
Yeah.
There's been crimes happened. Yeah. There's been laws broken. There's been all kinds of criminal activity that's gone on. And if you and I were to do any of that stuff, we'd be in jail until 3033. Yeah. And not a single person's in jail. Not a single person has been held accountable for anything they've done. No. And aren't these people supposed to be your elected representatives? Well, they're not representing you.
Not representing me.
They're not representing me. There's a lot of folks in this country that think, well, I'm going to wait for the election and Pierre Poilievre is going to get in. He's going to fix everything. Well, I hate to tell you this, but they're all the same snake.
Yep.
Okay. That just because they're not going out and eating the sheep right now doesn't mean that they're not planning it. You watch what happens if that happens. You watch exactly what happens. I can tell you right now how that's going to go.
We just went through this in Nova Scotia. I actually, for those of you that don't know, and that's how we met, I ran in the last provincial election in Nova Scotia, not because I believe in the political system, not because I believed I was going to change things overnight, or even one person there could change things. The one thing I knew I could do is I could tell people what goes on behind closed doors and what's really taking place in there and how the backroom deals are made, and all that kind of stuff. That's what I would have done on everything I am. That's what I would have done, been transparent and took the heat. And at that point in time, though, I told everybody, I tried to tell everybody in my videos, voting Tim Houston in to get rid of being rank and above all else, that's what everybody wanted to do, is not going to fix the problem. And in fact, it probably is going to make it worse. And it's not that I'm some magical seer of the future. It's obvious. You can see stuff, you know what I mean? And what happened? Tim Houston is worse. And nothing stopped, and all the stuff that they were worried about with the liberals happened worse with the freaking conservatives. So it doesn't matter, man. Two wings of the same bird. We're going to repeat the same mistake nationally that we repeated provincially. So I don't have all the answers. He doesn't have all the answers, but we're beating our head against the wall trying to find them. I do have a lot of contacts across the country, and I pull in from them people to try to come up with ideas, and I run my ideas, and they change and they evolve because I listen to what they say. So I think as a united group, we can come up with the right answers, and you guys are all part of this. So if you want to come there with ideas, bring them. Because that's what we're about.
If you want to speak at that event, come speak. Say your piece. We can't censor you. We'll gladly give you the mic. We'll give the mic to anybody that wants to speak, even those that want to get up there and heckle us or whatever. You got as much right to do that as anybody has to say anything there. But I'm going to speak my piece, and I'm going to speak my truth, and it's my truth, right? And it's coming from my heart, and it's my soul that's telling me that something's wrong, right? And you guys know what I'm talking about, that nagging feeling, that we'll call it the Sunday night blues, right? You got the Sunday night blues knowing you got to go to work tomorrow on a Monday because you don't like your job, you don't like your life, and yet you despise it. But you know that feeling I'm talking about? That is the feeling that we're having just about every day around the clock now, because we know that there's something nagging inside of us telling us that there's something wrong, and that we got to start pushing for action and for change. And that's exactly what we're going to do, right? And there's going to be some that are going to fall away, and that's just the way it's supposed to be. And then we can't reach everybody. but we're certainly going to move forward, and we're not going to take this laying down, and we're not going to be anybody's slave or anybody's servant or anybody's serp. We're going to stand up as men and women, and we're going to face our accusers, and we're going to look them dead in the eye, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I'm building a house up on the mountain here, just down the road actually, and I'm doing a siding job in Port Williams, Cape Cod siding job. This stuff with a buddy of mine, and we work great together. We get along great. You know, in a normal world that used to exist, or at least I thought it was the normal world, him and I could build from that. We could easily build, and my kids are old enough. They have some construction that we could build our own company. I've done it before by myself without him, without support, without somebody else with a skill set. I could do it all over again, but I can't because I shouldn't be there, because there's only so many people that see what we see. And for me, it feels like some sort of calling. I don't think I have all the answers. I don't think any of that stuff, but somebody has got to try to make a difference. I can't function in this society because I see where it's going. It doesn't matter how much money I make when they crash the dollar, it's worthless. You know what I mean? I'm not going to spend all my time chasing that dollar again. I've learned so much in the last 5 years that I'm not willing to make all these sacrifices and mistakes for nothing, and just to have these people destroy our whole society. So, and taking lives like that, you know what I mean? So we're not promoting violence. I mean, I'm not against defending myself or anything like that, but I'm not promoting violence. It's nothing like that. We're just talking action, as lawful as we can make it, whatever. But these people need to be brought to accountability. And I've sworn to few people in the last few months, at some point in time, I will be a part of or be the main one that brings these people to accountability. That's it. That's my calling. Strang, his days are got to be numbered. Bottom line, simple as that. Houston, Michelle Thompson, all these people out there that are cashing paychecks and destroying our society. And people, like, look at all the bankruptcies out there. Look at all the small businesses closing. Every day it's happening. People are losing their houses. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? They spent $8.3 million in Nova Scotia to celebrate the Queen and her passing.
Yeah, and that health minister there that got caught, her salary's 300 and something thousand. She got an additional 260,000 to push the narrative, right? So why do people get 200, half of her, 3/4 of her yearly salary for what purpose? What extra work did she do where she deserved that kind of money? Right. And we can't go right out and talk all about this. Unfortunately, I can't say exactly what I want to say right now, but in any case, there's something, I smell something fishy, guys. I smell a rat. I smell some rotten cheese coming from somewhere, right? There's so many crooks and corruption going on that they're falling out of the damn windows. That's how many crooks there are. And someone's got to do something, and nobody's doing nothing.
So then Nova Scotia, so the $8.3 million, the reason I bring that up for the Queen, I'm not even going into that because that's a whole nother tangent. Anybody on here probably has an idea where she stands in this. But anyway, $8.3 million. And then we have Fiona come. So I think overall there's like a $2 million thing that they're working on to try to help Nova Scotians with. But there's 1 million people in Nova Scotia. So what does that work out to be? $2 a piece. Mm-hmm. One of the things that they've done is you can get $100 towards lost food for power outages. That's one of the things they've done. Or $1,000 if you had to leave your home for any length of time because of damage or power outages. Like, these are insignificant amounts of money considering what people have went through for the destruction that they've had to deal with. This is the ones that did, because lucky enough we didn't really. You know what I mean? But where would that $8.3 million have went to help the public? They don't care about us, man. They literally don't. And they throw these fucking breadcrumbs. They throw breadcrumbs, right? And people gather them up and think, oh, look, they're doing something. They don't care. It's the same as all of the legal shit that's going on. Every bit of it. It's not actually leading to anything. Like he said, I don't care if you say we won this because this happened. No, we didn't win. Nobody's been arrested. None of these people are in jail. They have all the evidence. You know what I mean? But they're still, like, if that was us, we'd actually be in jail until we went to court. But they're still walking free. And they're not even getting the charge. The court thing is getting delayed. Why would they continue to delay it? Because eventually, to continue pushing the narrative, it won't matter anymore because they'll have control of everything, and that will just get washed away.
Once that digital ID gets in, guys, and it's mainstream, it's over. At that point,
we're close.
It's over, and I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
We're close.
Once they have everyone hooked up to that digital ID, we're done. You're done here. And the thing of it is there's not going to be any saviors coming from the political system in Canada, okay? And there's not going to be any saviors coming from the legal system. It's the bar society. It's not your society. You are not a part of the bar society. How do you think you're going to win playing their game? The minute you step inside that arena, you're already done. You're finished. This is why I'm trying to tell you there's another option called common law. It's the original law of the land. It's man's law. It's got nothing to do with greedy white people creating their own society and changing the meanings of common English tongue words to mean something else that you can never figure them out, so that you lose every time you go to court. You're not winning anything in the court of law in a legal system. You will never win in their arena, okay? Ever. It may look like you are, but you're not going to win there. They're going to see to it that you don't. They're all on the same team, guys. They're all on the same side.
Yeah, just one example of them being on the same side. When you pass your bar exam, you swear your oath to the court. So
not to the people, to the court.
To the court. And then go to the next level. It takes 3 signatures to put somebody in jail. One is a judge, one is a prosecutor, one is you, unless you've hired a lawyer. Then you've given that lawyer your right to signature.
All on the same team.
Yeah, so there you go, 3 signatures. And your lawyer is one of them, right? Anyway, and some of these guys don't even get it. Some of these lawyers don't even get it. And the reality is, and I've said this for a long, long time, and I tell everybody when they talk about money, talk about it costs this much or paying speakers. Like at this point in time, you're still paying speakers to come speak. This is our lives, man. This is real shit. Our lives are on the line. And for you to come and speak at an event, you need to get paid. If you've got information that's valuable, that's ridiculous. You're greedy, you're grifting, whatever. If you need help financially to get there, that's one thing. But to be paid to speak, no, that's not another.
Or if you're just there selling merch,
right? Where's all these lawyers that shouldn't they be doing a lot of this work pro bono? Because it's their world too that's crashing right around, and they don't even see it, and they think they're going to keep collecting these big paychecks. That's why the legal system don't work. The average person like you and I, we can't go in there and afford to fight. That's what happens.
You've lost anyway.
A big corporation, if you're trying to fight a big corporation, you can't win. They have unlimited resources, and you'll run out of this. And then as soon as you run out of this, it's over. But what we're talking about, common law, you need a bit of knowledge. You need to stay strong on your spot, and that's it. You don't need this. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. And that's it.
They can't hide behind lawyers or bar society members. They have to go in there and face your accuser that's brought a claim against you as a man or a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't hide behind a lawyer or a law firm or whomever.
Right. And so, I mean, I got court coming up, and I think it might be the 7th, or I think it may be after that. Maybe the 7th is when I got to let them know that I'm pleading not guilty or whatever. I don't know the situation. I got to look at the paperwork a little bit more. But regardless, it's coming up. And yeah, so here I am. I'm going to have to go do that. That's where I'm standing on my ex, man. I'm not, I don't know what's going to come of that. I have no idea, because they don't want to let common law in the courts. They don't want us to know our inherent rights. They don't want us to know how to speak to these people, that judge who is no more than you or I, Bob or Mary, whatever their name is, male or female. They're not your honor. We keep giving these people these elite.
I'm not giving anyone any titles, neither am I accepting any. No. I'm not going to call you your right honorable or sir or whatever if you don't want to be called that. I don't accept any titles, nor will I give any.
No, and how is right honorable? If you look at all these politicians that are destroying our country and destroying our province, in the world exactly, and in Canada at least, they call them right honorable so-and-so. Are you kidding me? Honorable. They don't even know the meaning of honor. They don't even
know what that damn word means.
Literally.
None of them.
Right? They're destroying everything.
It's a den of vipers.
So, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I'm trying to figure them out, doing the best we can. I saw this as an opportunity. These guys canceled this event. I don't usually go because it's just a bunch of horse shit yapping. I'm not interested in that. So I just said, well, you know what? We're going to take the bull by the horns and run with it, and we'll see what happens. And hopefully we can answer some of our own issues. And some of our own issues is having more support, more people willing to do something, willing to put their feet in the fire. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is, really.
We want men and women that are not going to run away when it gets scary.
Right? And things are coming. Things are going to get scary. And I don't mean tomorrow necessarily, but it could be, because we never know when they're going to freaking slam down on us. But if we start out this way, and at least we're planting seeds, and then people will know where to turn to, and they'll know where to go when they get ready, because it's coming. And at some point, I firmly believe at some point soon, all these people that don't get it, or the ones that are sitting on the cusp and don't know which way to go, they're going to get hit in the face with a ram shovel, because these troops are going to drop so fast. And it's going to be shocking, because we already know all of the different variables of what's happening.
Yeah, we've been living with it most of our
all the
lives.
different things that are going on. These people don't. They're blinders on, man. And all of a sudden, they're going to get hit with all this information at one point in time. That's going to be chaos. So it's coming, and we're just trying to prepare. Do I know we'll succeed? Absolutely not. I have no guarantees of nothing. But one thing I can tell you, I'm trying the best I can until I'm not.
Well, we're going to stand in our boots upright as men. That much for sure.
To the last breath, right?
Yep.
And it's not about me. This is about all you too, right? And my kids and my grandkids and their kids, and you know what I mean? That's what it's about. It doesn't matter me. I'm 50. I mean, I've already lived a little bit. It's all good. But I just can't not try. And that's the best I can do. That's the best I can tell you.
So if you got any relatives or friends in Nova Scotia, or you're in Nova Scotia yourself, come out and support us. This Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m., Friendship Park in Halifax.
Yep, that's it. Get it out there. Spread this as far and wide as you can. Spread it around. And when you share it with somebody, get them to share too, because this is all last minute. This event was already previously planned. It got canceled by them organizers, and we're picking up the ball that I view as them dropping the ball. We're picking it up and we're trying to run with it. Only we're turning down the other road towards action. That's the plan. Anyway, that's pretty much.
And you got to really wonder about freedom groups that aren't working towards action.
Yeah.
And they're scared of action because somehow they combine action with violence, which doesn't necessarily mean that at all.
No.
Right? Violence is violence. Action doesn't have to mean violence, right? Action can be the prevention of violence. It can be a number of different things, right? But nobody so far has worked towards a plan of an end goal of action, right? And that's what it's going to take. We can't sit in the sidelines anymore, guys. The easy days are over. I hate to tell you that, but the comfort days are over. The comfort and the easy times are over. It's only going to get harder from here on out. Make your decision. Make your mind up. Who are you with? Are you with good or evil? I've already chosen, and I know Gordy has, and many, many, many others have chosen. Make up your mind.
Yeah, so this is a battle. You got to look at this tactically. We're not just insane, crazy people that's going to go out on the spur of the moment and do some random crazy thing. That's why we don't tell you about some of the things we're trying to plan, because we're trying to put them together and we're trying to cover the angles, and then you got to have backup plans, and then you got to look at how they might react and try to figure out. That's what it's like. That's what it's like in war, and we're in a war. So we're trying to take this serious. And do we know? We don't know everything. We're trying to figure it out, and it is what it is. But the bottom line is this: we're moving towards action. Whether it's serving documents, that's action. Is there any violence in that? No, there's no violence in that. So that's action. Serving documents, you know what I mean? Protesting wherever you want to protest, not where they tell you can protest. Rattle the cages and stuff like that. All these things, man. That's what we got to start doing, right? Mass emails to the friggin' whatever, to all the MLAs, whatever. Just
if you're at home and you can't do anything else, write to all of them and say, look, I don't agree with this Agenda 2030. I don't agree with digital IDs, and I don't agree with any of the stuff coming from the WEF, and I don't agree with Chinese troops on our land or on our soil. And if you just say that, at least you've had your say, right? At least you stood up and had your say, and that is power.
Yeah, Sidewalk Toronto. It's like a Google thing. Sidewalk. It's this other company, and they're up there putting all kinds of freaking cameras and stuff in so they can watch it like Big Brother up there. You know what I mean? You got Chinese police stations in Toronto, 3 of them, and you think that's me making stuff up? It's been talked about in Parliament, man. They bring it up in Parliament. Why is that happening? Because in 2015, Trudeau signed deals with them guys to give them security clearances and stuff. And then they get, there's already been talk about Chinese troops out west. People have seen them. And
they've seen them.
This stuff is real. This is happening, man. Do I think China's taking over the country? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's China, the UN, or they're just here. I don't know. But I know shit's happening. Real bad shit is happening. It's coming fast. Digital ID, the friggin' QFS, and that's all friggin' digital currency. The cash will be gone, so they can track everything we do. All this stuff's coming down, right? New mandates are coming, new lockdowns are coming, climate change is taking over.
All I heard all week on CBC, and I listened to that for purposes to find out what the enemy's up to, but all I heard all week was climate change, climate change, climate change, climate change. That's all they're talking about, and then tying it in with the hurricane. Oh, it's because of climate change. And it's a load of garbage, guys. Okay. Climate change is a man-made thing so that they can draw more tax money off you and get more control. That's all it is. This planet knows what it's doing. It's been doing this forever since it's been a planet. Cold and hot cycles, cold and hot cycles. Okay. We are not dirty, filthy, rotten human beings like they're trying to make us out. Right? They're trying to make us out as all disease-ridden, dirty, rotten, polluting garbage. We're not that at all. In fact, we're exactly the opposite of that. We're made in God's image. We are his image. We are the spitting image of him, right? We're his creation. These other demon-possessed things, they couldn't be farther from light and the truth if they tried, right? They're the opposite of all that.
Yeah, so there's like, you guys remember, like I said, I'm 50. Like I remember back in school and climate change. That's what they're calling it now. But when, it was global warming before, and before that it was something else, and before that it was something else. I remember this going through 4 or 5 different cycles, the same story, 4 or 5 different cycles. There's supposed to be now countries underwater, continents underwater. Guess what? They're not. It's all lies.
Yeah.
Right? And you look at hurricane down there in Florida, Ian, and I just was reading about this, and it's posted in the news, Fox News, whatever. So guess what's down there? Everybody that's in the know pretty much thinks that was created on purpose. That storm was created on purpose and whatever. Whether you believe that or not doesn't matter. But there's a fertilizer plant down there that got destroyed. That fertilizer plant is responsible for 50% of the fertilizer in North America. So we talk about food shortages and pricings and all this stuff coming. How do you think that's going to affect that?
Yeah. On purpose.
Every angle, man. They come at us from every angle. They're spraying the skies. They're creating this storms. They're doing this. They're shutting this down. They're bankrupting people. They're putting people out of work. All this stuff, every angle. That always leads to wealth transfer. And that's the agenda. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, I might end up owning nothing, but I damn sure am not going to be happy about it. And I'm not going to go down without a fight. So that's it. I don't know.
You screwed up New World Order. You didn't wait until guys like Gordy and I and our generation were dead. All you had to do was wait another 20 years or so, and it would have happened. Yeah. You screwed up.
Yeah, I think so too. To walk in the ballpark, I think we're the last generation of people that really get it and really can relate to what the world should be like. I think everybody else has gotten too soft, and but they, that's all been by design. They've indoctrinated the kids in the school and politically correct, and you can't say this, and this is too offensive, and this is too offensive, and so everything's all about inclusivity, and but the world's gone mad, man. I'm telling you, I've been saying it the whole time. It's like we're living in an inverted reality. It's like everything's flipped upside down, and I don't know how they accomplished it.
And then we have what was that comment just went by here? How are you going to fight them on Confused? People Unite. Well, how do you think we're going to fight them? Every breath. That's how. Every single breath we take, every step we take, we're not going to do what they say to do. We're not going to do nothing. We're going to stand.
Yeah, don't comply. Don't listen. Don't listen to any of the mandates. Don't anything that they say no more. Stop. If you guys really want to do this, and you really want people that are really worried about violence or whatever, and we talked about this too. You know how simple this is? It's not easy because it takes people, but it's simple as that.
It could be over tomorrow at lunchtime.
Stay home. Don't go to work. Everybody, don't go to work. I don't care where you work. Just don't go to work.
Just go lay in the street.
That's it. It's done. Because everything collapses when you do that. You guys got to understand, we have all the power. We run everything in the entire world. Not just the country, not just the province, not just the town. We run it all. All we got to do is stop. The problem with that is everybody gets caught up in their self-absorbed little world.
My mortgage, and I got to feed my kids, and I got to this.
I'll get fired. First off, you can't get fired if there's 1,000 employees at a plant and 1,000 employees stay home. You can't fire 1,000 employees. That's not how it works. Every system, all we got to do is stop, but we can't get out of our own way. And they've done that on purpose. That's why we're so divided, because everybody's going to worry about their own little world. That's why people don't worry about the fuel prices that can afford the fuel prices. That's why they don't get mad. But then there's also young couples out there that can't afford to go to work. They have to choose, can they get gas to go to work, or do they buy food? And maybe they go without food because they got to buy food for their kids. That's reality of the real world, man. None of these people relate to it.
So why do you think people, a lot of the population doesn't know how to garden, or they don't know anything about hunting or how to fish or how to set bushcraft or how to survive in the bush?
Can't take care of herself.
Why do you think that is? It's because it's almost to the point where even since I was been a boy, that stuff was still around then.
Yep.
But it's been demonized, and all that information is dying with the people that get given it. Right? We're the last generation that knows anything about that. Right? We're it.
And why is that? Because they want us reliant on the system.
Yes, man.
We need to rely on them. They create the problems and they offer the solution. They need us reliant. And they've got a vast majority of people relying on the system. So one simple example, when I was growing up, we did grocery shopping once a week, once every 2 weeks, depending on whatever the pay scale was or period was when my dad worked and whatever. That's what we did. And if we ran out in between grocery day, we did without, or we borrowed from a neighbor. Today, that doesn't happen. People just go back to the store the next day and they get what they need. You see how society has shifted? So what happens all of a sudden now when the store doesn't have it? Or they don't have a lot of stuff? People don't have no idea how to function without these systems that they built around us. All these big box stores that take care of everything. People can't function without that. That's why chaos is coming. And it's not from us, the people that, wearing the tinfoil hats that everybody says, or the crazy people that are outside. It's not from us that's going to create the chaos. It's from them, because they're going to be so lost and confused and scared and terrified, and they're going to have so much regret and anger and hate. They're going to go off, man. That's where it's coming from, because they're relying on the system and we're not. That's how simple it is, right? But we could all just get together, separate from our differences. It doesn't matter if you like me. I don't have to like you. But we can stand together and we can all stop this. Just stop. Go sit in the streets. Don't go to work. Stop paying taxes.
There's enough of us around that if you really want to learn how to garden, people can teach you how, and it's not that hard. You just got to have the mindset for it. I've been telling people for years and years, and especially the last 2 years, start getting some food together, get some seeds together, get some food, extra water, anything you're going to need, right? Because it's going to, when it does eventually hit the fan, it's going to cushion the blow, all right, by having all this stuff in place now, right?
You can get in seeds, like we talk about that, but you go try to buy seeds, man.
And it's going to get harder and harder to find them as time goes on.
It's hard now, man. You know what I mean? They don't want us to be able to take care of ourselves. It's that simple. The bottom line is this, and he agrees. I don't want to live in a Hunger Games scenario. So we could survive up here in the mountain, do what we got to do. We got different skill sets, similar skill sets. We got lots of offers,
years,
bartering, whatever. We could survive here for quite a long period of time. But is that freedom? No, that's not freedom to me, man. You should be able to go wherever you need to go and do whatever you need to do, provided you do no harm to another man or woman. That's simple. That's the motto. That's the mantra, right? So survival is one thing in the short term, dealing with this. You should prepare the best you can. Some people can't. So that's not even an option, because financially they can barely make it now. So how do they prepare for what's coming, even if they know? It's not possible for them. So then we got to try to stop it to some degree. We got to try, and these people need to be brought to accountability. At the end of the day, they're going to get their accountability, whether it's by us in this living realm or it's in the dead realm of the spirit.
Ain't nobody going to survive or going to be able to run out on the second one.
Right. They're going to meet it at that point in time. So if we can't bring it to them at this point in time, they'll get there eventually, because you can't avoid it in the spiritual world. You're going to have to face your maker, creator, whatever you want to call it.
People Unite says, I have seeds but live in a high rise. It doesn't matter. Hang on to them. Maybe you won't be in that high rise for much longer. You may find yourself out in a rural area. Hang on to them, store them, make sure they don't go bad. Keep them at a light, direct sunlight. I have a bunch of seeds and I have them sealed inside a 3-inch piece of ABS with plastic weld on both ends. So I have to cut into it to get into it.
Yeah, but you can still do microgreens. You can do stuff like that. You're not you can't do everything. You can't grow pumpkins and stuff like that. But microgreens and all that stuff, and it's
Herbs.
all over online. All the herbs, all that kind of stuff that's good for you, that's healthy. You can still do that stuff in them kind of places. They have them little growing towers, like you just put them in your freaking living room. It's not
Yep.
like it's not impossible. You can't ever think it's impossible. You got to look outside the box and find the information. And I'm telling you, if you type that in, how do I grow food in a high rise? It'll come up. But you got to do it before they shut this stuff down, because at some point in time, we're not even going to have the freedom to go on here and try to find information because they're trying to block everything. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just frustrated, and I'm done with everybody talking, and I'm trying to move towards action. And yes, we have some ideas in our head, but until we put them all together completely, there's no point in throwing them out there, because we're going to make ourselves look bad. If we can't pull it together, we're going to have too many people know, and we can't have it spilled. There is some surprise avenues to it that we need to keep. That's the bottom line, as simple as that. But when the time comes, rest assured, you'll know. Everybody will know. Everybody will know.
It's not too far away, guys.
No, and I'm not interested in years down the road. I don't feel we got the time. I'm trying to put things together in the next months ahead. I see some terrible stuff happening before Christmas. So, can we stop it all? Maybe not, but we can certainly try, and we can certainly try to make some steps in the right direction moving forward. I think you see, if you can get to some of these people, even one of these people, if even one of these people get brought to real accountability, not some joke court, like they got going on in BC with Bonnie Henry that's pushed off, or the one that they got going on here with Strang that's been pushed off till the end of October or something. It started in March, man, or something, and
it'll be postponed till next October. And
I mean, real accountability. If someone gets brought to real accountability anywhere, that whole house of cards is going to start to crumble fast, because they're all going to realize, wait a minute, they got to that guy. They got him. We're all guilty. They know. And they're going to start running. They're going to start scattering. They're going to start ratting on each other. That's how they work, because there's no honor with them people. So we just got to get the one, and not violently, and not some crazy, illegal, unlawful scenario. Nothing. But what we got to do. What we got to do. It is what it is. Something's got to happen. So ideas are great, guys. Give them to us.
Yeah, if you got any, we're all ears at this point. But anyway, again, thanks for coming on here. It's late on Friday night here. Well, it's 10 o'clock in the East Coast here. But anyway, we appreciate you coming on. Please spread the word. Please share, subscribe if you haven't. Check your subscriptions. I noticed there was a few comments there this week. People have been unsubscribed automatically. And that's happened before on this channel, and it continues to be a problem. So check that. If you're not getting notified of these live streams and whatnot, it's probably because you've been unsubscribed. But in any case, we appreciate all of you. Love, light, and peace. And do something this week to help somebody else without want or even need of any type of repayment.
Yeah.
And just do that once a week for somebody, and carry it on. And eventually you're going to see a change.
Yeah, create the ripple effect. Anyway, much love.
We love you guys.
And if you can get to Halifax, we'll see you Sunday.
Okay. Cheers, guys.
Night.